You're listening to the Nerd to Know Media Network. Join us at nerdtoknowmedia.com.
Broadcasting from the Blanchistan Center, this is Phoenix FM.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies and share pornography with one another.
According to the Nerd Index, you should be upside down in a junior high toilet around the clock.
This is We'll do it live! Time goes in, time goes out. Never miscommunication. It's over 9,000!
My name is Foxy.
The balls are in there. Do a barrel roll. Don't face me, bro. It's a trap. I'm a fire in my time to Hey, Charlie, wake up! Oh, God, oh, man.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Nerd to Know Bases here on Phoenix 92.5 FM. I am back. Hi, it's been a hot minute, and I am joined as always by Bryn, Kian, and Dara. Say hi, guys.
Oh!
Hello.
Jeez, it's been a while since
We're
we've also been on together.
Incredibly
Lads.
efficient. Only in
Boys.
2-word sentences this week.
Absolute boy squad.
Ahoy, everybody.
Boy squad soon. How has I haven't been here. How's the old Nerd to Know base been coping without me?
It's been
I
filtering
don't.
on.
Well, I don't know.
Well, let's go alphabetical. Bryn, Dara.
Bryn, yeah, you go.
Bryn,
You go
me,
first.
Dara.
It's been soldiering on silently mostly, but we're going. We're doing what we can.
Silently isn't the best diagnosis for a radio show.
No.
Morally.
Yeah, I've been out of action for the past 2 or 3 weeks as well, settling into a new job, but I've really, really missed you guys, and I trust that the shows I missed. In the meantime, congratulations on finally finishing a season of The Simpsons. It's all downhill from what I remember of season 9 from here, but I am thrilled to be back, and there's actually lots of news. What about you, Dara? You're the watcher. What's been happening?
Ahoy, everybody. I've missed you all. It's good to have everyone back. It feels like a traditional Nerd to Know based show again, which is cool. But here's the thing, right? So when you guys were away, Lisa wrote the best metal track to come out of Ireland in the past 10 years. Did some awesome radio stuff. And if you guys haven't heard any of that, do go and check it out. It's on the archives.
Okay, this is the one that Baby Yoda keeps turning on and off.
This is the one that Baby Yoda keeps turning on and off, yeah.
If we're just gonna get a quick plug in, check up Ashiri.
Yes.
I've only seen it written down actually. How is it pronounced?
Ashiri is the one we're going with. Yeah, it's like Run with the Wind.
Ooh.
I've only seen it written.
Well, in my time that I was gone, I have gone and picked up some news in the wilds as well.
Oh.
Most notably, I asked the guys before with that, but I seem to have been the only one here to see Shang-Chi, the new Marvel film.
I have been trying. I didn't know it wasn't going to Disney Plus. I got popcorn and everything and Domino's, and then it wasn't there.
Oh,
And then you got to spend the night watching Speed or something.
We watched Black Widow again.
Black Widow. I was going to make a joke. Did you just watch Black Widow? No, look, in my defense, I tried to go see it last Sunday, but I couldn't. So it's back to stealing movies, folks.
Don't steal Shang-Chi, because this movie, even though it's a Disney movie, I know it's a big corporation Disney is. I think I need to get on my soapbox that people need to get out and actually see Shang-Chi, because first and foremost, it is very good. I have seen next to no press on this movie compared to even Black Widow. And I think it's a real shame because it's a great movie. It's simply because it's a very underrepresented character. And I don't think that it's unfair to say that it's because it's a majority Asian-led cast that it's a reason it's kind of going under the radar. And I really want to give it its due.
Sorry, Kev, I have heard
Yeah.
it's like the best standalone movie since Iron Man, which is why I wanted to go see it.
It's definitely up there. Like one of the best pieces of praise I think I've been saying about it is that halfway through it, I forgot I was watching a Marvel movie. It builds so much of its own lore into its own movie that you forget it's wrapped up in the entire MCU and everything that came with Endgame.
But that's what it needs. But that's what it needs. That's what Marvel needs now, man.
Well,
I
think I kind of went in expecting something a bit like Doctor Strange, where it felt a bit trite compared, we're halfway through this big epic saga and it feels like we're kind of going back to step one. I was kind of going and expecting that, but no, it's so refreshing. Again, like I absolutely have to give just like big props to the lead, Simu and where's
Awkwafina?
the name of these? Awkwafina. Okay, well, Awkwafina needs
That's
not any more props because she is a queen.
That's your one from Jumanji, isn't it?
She was in Jumanji. I was thinking about that when I was watching it. I was like, Spencer,
is that you?
There is not a movie I think I've seen her in where she has not cracked me up. Because between Shang-Chi, her Danny DeVito impression in Jumanji is stellar. And if any of you have watched Crazy Rich Asians, she's hilarious in that as well.
Oh yeah, really, yeah.
Fine.
Well then, actually, Kev, because like I've been going out of my way to not find out too much, but I'm giving up hope that I'll make it to a cinema. So would you give us like not even a synopsis, but like a premise? What is the deal with this?
It's the entire thing is that the lead Shang-Chi himself basically is descended from the actual 10 rings. Because this is the other thing, is it takes that whole the idea where they tried to take the 10 rings and jam them into something else back in Iron Man 2 and 3. And then they realized I think Kevin Feige and the writers were like, no, that was actually dumb that we tried to force fist 10 rings into this. How about we actually just put the 10 ring story in? And it's basically just a story of Shang-Chi trying to get back at his dad, who is a kind of just a all-powerful tyrant. That's kind of the whole story. And yeah, I try to think of the best way to kind of describe it. It's like there's a lot to this movie because it's
okay. Well, obviously, I won't kind of
I'm trying to dance around without.
Who are kind of the star players? Which characters jumped out at you the best?
Again, Shang-Chi, his sister, between half remembering and trying not to butcher Chinese names. I think the character's name was Xia Ling. And Awkwafina, of course, absolutely. And the dad, whose name I absolutely can't remember. Most of the entire cast absolutely stood out. Michelle Yeoh shows up halfway through it as well, and that's always a good time. But I think the biggest drawback, takeaway I think I found as well. The two biggest takeaways I think I had was I can't remember the last time I enjoyed watching fight scenes in a movie. The first scene is basically pulled straight from House of Flying Daggers. Like, they are wearing their influence of old school kind of superhero kung fu movies on their sleeve. And it's amazing. The choreography and the shot direction, stunning. Every single fight set piece in that is incredibly memorable, incredibly enjoyable. And then on top of that, it's genuinely just funny. There's a whole sequence where Shang-Chi, at the start of the movie, he goes by the name Sean. And they're on the plane and Awkwafina, who's his friend's talking to him. And he goes actually, Sean's not my real name. And she's like, oh, well, what's your actual Chinese names? And she's like, Shang-Chi. And she's like, yo, how lazy are you to move Shang-Chi to Sean? That's like being called Marty and changing it to Morty or something. I was like, this is gold. It's so funny.
Okay, I'm thrilled now because just to kind of circle back to a point you made earlier about the marketing. Yeah, not to kind of make it like a sort of a thing of it, but I remember when Wonder Woman was coming out, like there was no press, and then it did successfully well at the box office in its first week, and then the posters arrived like the second week, and because as they realized they had a hit in their hands, I'm starting to see a similar thing with Shang-Chi, where like no one was talking about it, and then the reviews came out, and now they're kind of doing like a post buzz thing where they're trying to build it up like they made it to be a big thing the whole time. Why
They're
do you
playing
think
catch up.
Kind of like throwing their full weight behind it?
Oh, I mean, again, again, lesser known property. I like it could very like it. There's every chance that they didn't have faith in a major majority minority cast. Is that the best way of putting that?
Well, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is a lesser known property, and they marketed the living daylights out of that one.
Yeah,
not the first one.
The first one. I remember that bloody song being everywhere before.
That's because it like that. I think that was the same thing as you're saying with Wonder Woman. I think it hit the cinemas, and then they realized they had it in their hands.
That was it. And if you remember correctly, when that movie came out, it actually influenced the way movies were marketed after that. So
Suicide Squad is the damage of
that. With that, it's like, it's the Marvel effect where like, what works, but then they want to have the cake and eat it too, going, oh, it was successful the whole time. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's I don't know. Like initially I thought this flopped, and then people are like, oh, it's great, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll go see it. And then obviously, we're just gonna have to steal it.
I'm sticking by my soapbox. Give money to the big evil corporation.
I tried to, and I had to get a refund.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people.
Just post it to Michelle Yeoh. She'll get it.
I tried to give my €24, and they wouldn't accept it. So I'm sorry, Disney, but I have to steal it. You give me no option.
You buy the ticket and leave.
That's true. That's true. That's
walk out with your popcorn.
I wasn't even allowed to buy popcorn. They wouldn't let you enter the door. You fail to understand here. You can't do it. But yeah, good times. Not really though. Terrifying, but still good times in general.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, like, can I just ask then? Because this is kind of the question we were circling around when Black Widow came out. Like, there's a whole rake of things now on Disney Plus, like Marvel-wise, that are of comparable, level of quality to a movie in terms of production and stuff. Like, is it weird seeing a Marvel Shang-Chi thing in a cinema? Like, or does it, like, now that all that kind of stuff is so easily accessible, Kev?
No, I always, at least in my perception, I always very much treasure that cinema feeling. So, like, that's something I'll never, it's like, as much as the quality of the production of whatever I'm watching will absolutely be top tier, part of it is just the experience of being in a cinema. So, that's kind of half the battle in itself. So like, I don't actually, did I watch? Because I went to see the cinema, because I went to Black Widow in the cinema. I'm trying to think if there's the major Marvel stuff, like outside of the TV shows. I don't think actually there was any of the major Marvel movies. Yeah.
Faster.
I am a modern major man general.
There was for man took it.
And I don't think actually I saw any of the Marvel movies on Disney Plus like first. I think outside of the TV series. So I wouldn't actually have a point of comparison outside the TV series.
Right.
The only one I saw on Disney Plus first was Black Widow, which I think would have been better to see it in the cinema. There's certainly like a bit special when it gets effects heavy that looked terrible at home. I don't know how they would. I assume they would have looked better on a cinema screen, but.
Oh yeah, Black Widow had some. I haven't rewatched it twice now. It had some really gorgeous like visual direction and stuff that is lost on.
And then some of the worst fire effects I've seen in any film ever.
Black Widow suffered from not being before Endgame.
Oh god, yeah. I think the film is incredibly aware of that.
It also suffered from having its climax developed before the script was finished.
I've heard that, yeah.
Because it doesn't fit the first 2 acts in any shape or form.
Yeah, actually, I don't want to, because I want to get to What If, but like, it's actually, my brother was passing through the room and he said that this film, in its referencing, feels a bit like Solo, where they'll take something like that was named for in A New Hope, and now they have to make it like Drago's daughter. But Solo was clever enough to have it end in some guy's office.
Oh, okay. No,
big thing, you know.
I am taking this back and actually taking the show on the run. I watched Cruella a couple of weeks ago.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Speaking of the Solo effect, Cruella takes that in staves.
Oh
Take
no!
us on a journey, Kev. Take us on a drive this bus off the dog-ridden cliff.
First point of note: before I started the movie, I noticed that the runtime is 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Well, that's on for Cruella.
The original runtime
as long easily as 101.
The original runtime of 101 Dalmatians is about 85 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single aspect of Cruella de Vil's character is dissected and basically put through that same filter of what's your surname, Solo. It's just, it is astonishing. Oh,
who are your people? I have no people. I'm Solo.
It's like okay. I have to spoil some of this because this is astonishing.
You've been warned, dog lovers and dog haters.
DeVille is not actually her surname.
Yeah.
Okay.
The name on the car. She's named after her car. She is named after her car.
Oh no.
The car that she chases the dogs in the second movie. In the original is a DeVille. She named herself after the car.
Oh no.
I have no people.
The black and white hair. That's her natural hair color. She was born that way.
And that's why they tried to leave her on a doorstep because of her mutant hair, where she was adopted into a dog orphanage where she was mistreated.
Obviously, as been memed to death, the dogs killed her parents. That's anybody wrote that, and it's. But the crazy thing is, the wild thing is, so everyone knows about the fact that the dogs killed the parents. At the end of the movie, she adopts those same dogs.
Yes, and Kevin, you know the worst part about all that? Someone got paid a lot of money to write that, and then another group of people sat around and said, "You know what? It's brilliant." And then another group of people sat around and made it.
Dara, you praised Maleficent several times on this show. What's the difference here?
The sequel, because the sequel means nothing.
My mistake, of course.
Yeah, the sequel is a dumb movie that has no impact on anything, but you have a great time. Now, that's different than what Cruella was doing, DeVille or whatever that stupid movie's name is. And I'm just like, my big question here is, why did you watch it, Kev? Like, what were you hoping to achieve?
No, it was exactly like it was the day it went up on Disney Plus, like for free. That's fair. We were like me and my partner were just like, we knew how bad it was going to be, so we went in. And to its credit, that it is one of the worst screenplays I've ever heard in my life. For being a movie based in fashion, the visual direction was actually really, really strong. And Emma Stone and Emma Thompson absolutely played their hearts out.
Which one's Emma Thompson?
Emma Thompson's the villain.
Who is she? I don't know who she is.
She's like,
oh god, she's in loads of things. She's people who came up with Stephen Fry and stuff.
And Nanny McPhee. Okay. I was watching. I'm thinking she was in a bleeding Sense and Sensibility that I watched recently, but I don't know how much that helps you.
It doesn't. I Nanny McPhee. I think I can place it now.
She's in
Colin Firth Sense and Sensibility is the big one.
I think you mean the Alan Rickman Sense and Sensibility because he is the star of that movie.
He's the star of that movie.
Oh.
It is his movie.
Oh no,
Dare you.
I'm talking the TV series, the 90s one. Is that or is he?
Oh.
Oh, no, it's the other one. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up now. Sorry.
No,
You're right.
she's the movie.
Yeah.
She's the movie. But anyway, like, she's just a very prolific, like, British actress. But yeah, the two of them,
The Harry Potter films.
they like with what they are given, they like. I'll give it this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Saving Mr. Banks. That's her best one. That's another Disney.
Oh
live-action
yeah. That movie actually was pretty. That movie was pretty decent, to be fair.
Yeah.
I can say this much about Cruella. I was never bored watching any minute of it.
Right.
Like if you want just a good like bad movie, go for it. That is my gift to you. Is
it charming enough to be a good bad movie though?
Again, I had to stop and laugh every couple of minutes.
Yeah.
She's childhood friends with the goons.
Oh no! What? Why? No!
They get Hugh Laurie back.
That doesn't even make sense.
It's astonishing. Again, it's up on Disney Plus. If you haven't, and you haven't even,
I don't want to. Don't even steal this movie, folks.
No, I think it's worth a watch. know that it's not going to be a good movie, but I think people should watch it.
Oh God.
I'll put it's
sorry,
not quite to like the same kind of like Nexus event that Cats is, but it's kind of in that ballpark.
Speaking of Nexus events, I've just looked up the screenwriters, and it's a weird mash.
Oh, yeah.
You've got Tony McNamara, who's one of the two writers of The Favourite, good.
Yeah.
And then you've got Dana Fox, who wrote The Wedding Date and What Happens in Vegas. And
oh no, they are bad movies.
Yeah.
Are so divorced. They're almost on different planets.
So the question here is that did they get your man who did The Favourite in to do rewrites?
Now bear in mind, there's 3 story credits from different people before it got passed to those 2 writers, and those 3 people are different from the 2. So I suspect this went through a lot of like production rooms.
So what it sounds like is this script went through a room that was a sitcom in itself.
Yeah.
So one of the story people is the person who wrote The Devil Wears Prada. So that's obviously
you can tell.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
The writer of Saving Mr. Banks. There's another connection. That's another person, and I have the writer of Her. So the story, they're all great writers, probably, but none of these 5 writers have tones that match one another, and it's ended up. I don't know. I'm more confused now for knowing everyone who wrote it.
They're also probably being put through the absolute grindstone by executives going, this isn't what we want. This doesn't suit their vision of a marketable film. And there's probably a lot of that kind of stuff going on.
Oh, this is a randomly generated movie that came out of a committee. There's no doubt about that. Whatever number generator made it very funny to watch.
I think this was made by the Manatees.
Oh, completely.
That's what this sounds like. The Manatees made this movie or wrote it.
For point of comparison, did anyone see the Red Letter Media's review of Black Widow, where they dug into the director of Black Widow's history? It's the most kind of tick box of, she did 1 movie about a spy, she did 1 movie about 2 sisters, she did 1 movie about trauma, she did 1, and just all those ingredients are just in Black Widow. They just scissored the best bits of all of her career and put it in Black Widow. An algorithm found the director for Black Widow. Nothing against her.
Yeah.
But it's just it screams the committee thinking behind, let's find the person who can make the movie we've already decided to make.
Yeah.
Very specifically, that kind of way,
And then there's also a lot of reports that director had absolutely no creative freedom over the film either, which is
the second half screams that,
which is a terrible position for any director to be in, considering that they're supposed to have creative freedom.
And
on that point, if I can just mention something, so I did manage to go see *Malignant* on Friday, which was weird because
I've heard
on Saturday.
things about this.
So I did in a different cinema. Go to Cineworld, give them your money. So I went
So
there.
now you know which cinemas will let you in. And
Exactly.
which ones won't.
Exactly.
And rate accordingly to your personal judgments.
Absolutely. Not giving any advice to anyone, but
5 meow beans.
Exactly. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so Malignant, right? So you want to talk about a movie that someone just wanted to make and had the clout to make, and it makes no sense, and it's hilarious, but actually really enjoyable, but not scary at all. Malignant is for you. If you like Trauma, do you guys know what Trauma is?
Yep.
Okay,
No.
Trauma. So Trauma is like super. Actually, your man from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's where he started making movies. Trauma is like uber indie, low budget schlock movies, but they're great, right? Return to Nukem High Part 2. I'm still waiting to come out. So sad face. But anyway, yeah. So Malignant. It is crazy, not funny. No, sorry, not scary. Hilariously funny. And I had a great time watching it.
It's James Wan, isn't it?
It's James Wan, but here's the thing. It's not a James Wan movie. He made a Trauma movie, but it just kind of looks like a James Wan movie. He's like, you know what, guys? I've made these movies. I'm just going to make something for me. And he did. Yeah. And it's wonderful.
So is this what his coping mechanism for working on Aquaman looks like?
I think so. I think he just like...
This is like the ice cream you get after going to the doctor.
No, dude. This is The Room. This is a high budget version of The Room.
So you're saying this is the man who has just lost his psyche?
No, it's just kind of like, I've made things for so long for other people. I'm just going to make something for me.
Yeah.
And they gave him a budget and said, all right, James, you go and make whatever you want. And boy, God, did he make whatever he wanted to make. It's brilliant. It's so good, but it's so terrible at the same time.
But there's so few directors are afforded that opportunity in this day and age. So it's just great to see it. Oh
yeah, no, and look again. I really enjoyed it. I really like schlocky movies. I think they're brilliant. But the way it's like, you can tell because the way it was marketed is like completely different to the way pretty much all other James Wan movies are marketed. And I know why. I know why. You know why straight away. Like you go in and it's like it is ultra violent, dude. It is one of the most violent movies I have ever seen in my life.
Ooh, can I just stop you there? Again, what is this about? Because like James, he always comes out with movies and they're always like the thing, the shadow, the thing. I never know what they're about. Sometimes even after I've seen them.
So I'm not going to ruin the twist, because if I ruin the twist, you just won't watch it, right? So here's the thing. So the movie is about this woman who is pregnant and her abusive boyfriend beats her up. And that's how the movie starts. Then she starts bleeding from the back of her head and having these she ends up miscarrying and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, what's going on? You've had like 3 miscarriages. And basically they're trying to figure out why she keeps having bleeding from the back of her head and why she keeps miscarrying. And then it turns out all these murders start randomly happening, and she's able to like see the murders happening as they're going on. So there's like loads of different plot threads that are kind of linked but not really. And that's what it's about basically. It's a who done it for psychological linked killers that are able to see what's going on, and then it takes a hard left. Oh, it is hilarious when it gets going.
We're learning a lot about you tonight, Dara.
No, hold on. I see. I can't. Okay. No, I can't ruin it.
No. I think here's the thing, though. I think I get where you're coming from with this, though. I think I'm on the same brain like the Dara on this.
Yeah.
Like, if the tone absolutely goes full camp, I can see how this would be funny.
Oh, it goes full camp. Like it once it takes that left turn, right? It doesn't stop. It just drives through walls. It's crazy, right? And there's a bit in it near the end where I'm not going to ruin what happens or any of that, but it's in a police lockup, like in a holding cell. And
I have seen a bit of this. It kind of looks a bit Matrixy, doesn't it?
Oh, it is wonderful. It is wonderful. It's the most violent thing I've ever seen, and it's great. It is brilliant. And when you see it, you're like, oh my God, am I actually watching this? Am I having some fever dream? Is this a holdover from, whatever? I can't explain it, because if I tell you why it's so funny, you won't go see it. What I would say is, look, go and see this movie. Obviously go see Shang-Chi. Well, we'll steal it if you want it, but give it money. And then go see this movie, because, oh my God, like James Wan gave us a gift. He gave us a gift.
If actually, because you just wrote as well. While I am back, I'm just gonna keep regurgitating the movies that I watched in the month and a half I wasn't here. I also came across a new movie on Netflix called Kate.
It's so good.
Kate, it's John Wick action movie. It's a John Wick style kind of action movie where it's Mary Elizabeth Winstead playing a highly skilled assassin who gets radiation poisoning and has 24 hours to kill the people that poisoned her.
You forgot the most important part.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. The most important part is the music is done by Bandmade.
Bandmade. Yes.
And the music's unreal.
Oh, it's
the music's
great.
So good.
Aside from the fact that this movie is just actually deadly. If this movie gets more eyeballs on Bandmade, I am delighted. But yeah, like it's just a really, really solid action movie. It's only about 90 minutes long as well, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. The one thing that I just didn't expect for it to be so hit by is, as I said, it's radiation poisoning. And just as the movie develops, you just see Mary Elizabeth Winstead just literally fall apart at the seams.
Yeah, it's very graphic.
It's graphic, but it's engaging in the weird way.
I'm sad though, because I'm like, oh, Ramona. No.
Well, that's just actually. I'm glad you brought that up. Because Winstead is one of those actors who's always really good, but never gets huge breaks. Like obviously, you mentioned Ramona. There was her Cloverfield film. She was in one of the ensemble characters in the Harley Quinn thing. I've been waiting for her to get an amazing break for ages and ages.
Was she in the Harley Quinn thing?
She was Huntress, and she was great.
In the Harley Quinn thing, and her thing was she had speech, and characters kept cutting across it. I didn't recognize her, but she was my favorite. Character.
She was just a complete edgelord. It was amazing. Yeah. She's also just sidebar. I watched Sky High the other night for the first time.
She's that movie's wild.
She's the not to spoil Sky High too much. She's the girlfriend in Sky High from 2005. So she's been knocking around for ages now.
She's to go back to Die Hard, we were talking about that before we started. She's like Bruce Willis's kid in the Die Hard movies.
And you know what? Really? And you know what? That movie is okay. So Bryn knows this. Bryn's still here.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bryn knows this. Bryn, what are the two movies that I watch over and over again every couple of months?
Watch Hackers and Die Hard 4.
Yes. Bryn knows this.
Is this a wish fulfillment thing? Do you watch one and pretend that the hackers in Die Hard 4 are the same, or
No, he just likes them both because they've got accurate hacking in them.
They do. This is true. See, Bryn knows this.
That's
Have you ever blown up the White House in hacking?
No, but this is Bryn, tell them why I like the movie so much.
Because it has believable hacking in it.
There you go.
That's kind of as far as I've ever really been able to understand.
You have discovered I
could see in Bryn's eyes Dara having told him this every couple of months.
Well, see, we used to work together.
Years.
For years. We used to work together, and it would just come up every couple of weeks. I'm like, hey man, I watched Hackers last night.
Again, we worked together in a cybersecurity company. I can't stress to you how frequently the topic of hackers and Die Hard 4
a lot.
I cannot stress, but the phrase "drop of a hat" is thrown around freely.
Oh, man.
It sounds like it's more the phrase "any opportunity given,"
which was a lot. But I would recommend both those movies. They're great time. Also, guys, guess what? It was on Tuesday. What? The 26th anniversary of Hackers. It was Hackers Day.
For God's sake.
This is a real thing. So I hope everyone
I'm
had their
going to the
Jolt Cola.
basement, guys.
I hope everyone had their Jolt Cola and had a good time.
Did you have a good time?
Oh, I did. Yeah, because I actually watched the movie again, so I had a great time.
Oh, did you? What
Yes.
a shock.
Is it that time? Is it that time already?
Dear, here we go.
12 hackers on a watch.
Digital copies of things, because you are on track.
Yeah, he's basically like, there's that assassin in Rick and Morty. He goes like, "Oh boy, but here we go killing again." Dara's like every
from
day,
Bobby
but with
and Michael,
hackers.
yeah.
Like, "Oh boy, better go watch the hackers again." Is it
You're
noon
like
already?
The Simpsons when they like Homer insists they get hammocks in the nuclear power plant just in
Not
there.
Here, you know what else came up a lot? That phrase, "we need business hammocks." That also came up a lot.
Dara, you're Patrick at 3 a.m. wanting a burger. Oh boy!
Oh boy, hackers time!
Yeah.
Oh man, good times. True stories.
Wow, this became Dara's autobiography so gradually. I didn't even know.
I barely noticed.
We've learned about his past, his recent cinema experiences, his political views.
Hold on, how do people not know my political views? I'm like the most libertarian person on the planet.
Hello, welcome to your first ever Nerd to Know Media. I think we cover all of our bases.
We're going to redirect all people who have questions to this episode.
I have an Ayn Rand quote behind me most times. How are you just learning this now?
Oh my goodness. It's
How would you rate like do you like have a list of like the most accurate to least accurate films? Like where to say like the hacking in Digimon the movie rate compared to like, do you have a full system or just those two that jump out to you?
I'd have to watch Digimon the movie. Like I've only seen the start of it with Angela Anaconda for some reason.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what is this? And that's about as far as I got. So
I'll be
I'll
real
give you a
honest with
clue.
you.
The second story segment opens with Izzy going, "Oh my god, a virus on the internet."
That's true so far. That's fair.
Yeah, I know, but like it's just something you'd never see, Although I suppose it was the 90s, so.
But it's just an individual virus on the internet that they.
Yeah, you probably enjoy it actually. That middle segment is all just fighting a giant virus that's trying to, nuke the world. For monsters fighting in computers. It's all very like the stuff you like, but for kids.
Well, look, not to get into it too much, but yeah, there is a list, and there are like, people have done things where they've like compared stuff from it. Without getting into it too much, I will have to say that, and as I get into it too much, there is the worst one out of all of them is CSI, I believe. CSI is like the worst of everything.
Miami particularly.
CSI is a bad representation of crime scene investigation. Their hacking can't be much better.
Yeah.
No,
CSI, they have holographic technology that would make Star Trek blush.
Yeah. They're also able to do things that are, like physically, chemically, and biologically impossible.
Magic.
So
I'm going to look up the best CSI cases. I vaguely recall a shark appearing in a swimming pool and someone
wizard did it
from space.
Oh, no. From space, you say?
Yeah, and landing on a car, still being like, there.
Did you ever, I don't know if anyone here is a fan of that Mitchell and Webb look, but they used to have like these series of sketches where it was two lazy writers saying, "Oh, you don't really need to research for whatever it is they're doing." Like say if it's like a medical drama, and they go like, "Yeah, the people are just more in it for the stories than for the actual realism of it." And CSI carries that kind of energy. I also highly recommend watching the sketch because it is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
It's just them going like, it's like, "Oh, what's happened? Oh, he's a bit poorly. Give him the medicine."
Yes.
No, this isn't going to taste very nice.
Oh no.
CSI is a funny one. I like New York, like sincerely, the New York one.
Yeah.
But like the Vegas one was so grim it made me like, you know, feel bad for the rest of the night. And the Miami one was so fanficky that it just doesn't seem like it's on planet Earth. It's just such a weird franchise. And I don't know how they got Quentin Tarantino in to do an episode. It's just such a weird. Yeah.
What?
Quentin Tarantino did 2 episodes of CSI The Vegas, the original. And it involves and surprisingly, there is one scene of incredible graphic violence where a man imagines himself on like the morgue table.
I thought
and
you were
it's all
about
about one of the main
this.
characters getting buried alive, often, like, you know.
I love this so much. This is
It's actually for, like, you know, for CSI, it's quite good because he's like buried alive somewhere, like, and he's on top of a bomb as well. So they have to find him and then also lift him out without exploding him. It's just such a, like, only a Tarantino episode get away with it. All the rest of them are much more like, you know, puns and sort of going to a casino and kind of stuff. I never clicked with CSI. I always found it to be a bit too jaded, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
Like the puns, you're like, ah, someone's dead. You know, I know they're not real, but like, you know.
But you know, it depends. It's like, you know, if the person who died wasn't like a nice person, you can make puns, I suppose. But still, that's in bad taste.
No, you can't.
I don't know. It depends. Like if it's Hitler, you're like, oh well, he should have quit while he was ahead when he blew his brains out. You know. Yeah. But like
he did not see that coming.
Exactly. You know, it's a whole banter. It's a whole Wolfenstein banter. You know. Yeah. It's when you draw the line. You know, I don't know if you played Wolfenstein or not. I think I played Wolfenstein. Oh, we did. I played Wolfenstein as we were doing that special, Kev, for on Helsing. But yeah, like all that's just banter, and I suppose that's not too bad. But like, if it was like, you know, someone's wife and, you know, they died and you had like 3 kids there, that would be sad and upsetting. So I think it's all relative.
I'll give you my case study for it then. I can't remember if it's Miami or Vegas, but it's one of them. And probably Miami. And like, they're all having a lottery, the main characters, to see if one night they can have a night where they have a murder case, a suicide, and an accidental death.
Oh, that's bleak.
And like, you know, it's all
dark.
about them.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that is so dark.
You know, and you're like, you're making jokes about,
dude. That'd be like doing a medical drama.
I'm not on your side anymore. Like, that was just a standard episode.
That's a Deadpool, literally.
That reminds me of the Batman animated series, the Gotham Batman animated series episode.
Almost got him.
Almost got him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to bring the mood down. It's just it's prevailing success makes me sad.
Yeah. But
in a way that the DC universe's prevailing cinematic success used to make me sad, but I've come around to it now.
Yeah. But like, I mean, imagine doing that in a medical drama. It just wouldn't work. I don't know why they would think it would work in a cop show. Like, it's so heavily in bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get the idea that maybe it's a 9 to 5, and like if you analyze that a bit, maybe there could be something there. But like, if you don't care about the people you're supposed to be protecting,
just like, an episode of ER where Clooney's like, I put 10 quid on the next one being cardiac failure.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay. You know what? It's like what did that trope well, but obviously because of what it was, it worked. Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was like with something like that, you're like, okay, fair enough. They're betting on how people are going to die.
But that's the case where it didn't go unexamined.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, we're in on the joke, you know.
And also, they're the bad guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
And also, from the jump, it's a comedy.
Yeah. Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like it's like, you know, context and stuff like that matters. And I'm just like, I don't know how you thought going for your serious situational cop drama that was going to work. It's like, no, you make these people look terrible and they're already kind of terrible as it is.
Yeah. But I mean, again, it's a weird thing, especially with those kind of shows where, like, especially with the longer they go, and because they have to contrive interpersonal drama so long that eventually you turn all of your main characters into terrible people.
It's the Flanderization of characters.
Yeah.
It's what happens after a while.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Like, but it's, again, if you do, I mean, like, I don't know how long CSI episodes run for a season, but I assume that the the 22 to 26 episode long runs, and you can't do shows at that length without, like for 5 seasons plus, without doing some real harm to all of your principal characters.
I don't know. Law and Order managed to keep a sort of a status quo in all of its shows without their characters becoming raging, unpleasant people.
Bones
Now,
did have to turn one of the main
Marvel-style formula, but
Bones did have to. Bones did have to turn one of the main characters into a serial killer at one point.
It's just one. There's like 50 odd of them.
Bones only had like 7.
Yeah,
it's just one is fine. Bones was good though. I really enjoyed Bones actually. I don't think it got enough.
I think it got enough praise. I think people like Bones.
I know, but I when I think about it, it's just like, oh yeah, whatever. I just like it, and also it's Zoe Deschanel's sister, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, I watched Bones before I knew who Zoe Deschanel was. So I saw Zoe Deschanel as Emily Deschanel's sister.
That is bizarre because Zoe Deschanel is like the best, but also not. Yeah. It's weird.
Well,
I don't know.
But actually, just speaking of shows that have run on way too long, Kev, I'm not sure if you remember this, but there was a game I played with the staff of Eason's about every year an NCIS calendar would come in, and they are so lazy. Every year it comes in, and we just try and find the last year's one and see if they've rearranged the same pictures into different orders.
My favorite is the one year it was the last year's, and then the next year's they literally just screen flipped the picture.
That was it. Your main woman with the pigtails, they literally just flipped the image round and put like red behind it instead of green or something.
She's the hacker.
Dara's back. Dara's back. Rate the
I'm back, everybody.
Does it have a hacker? Yes, Dara will watch it.
I'll watch it. I'll be all over it. And Bryn will have to hear about it.
It's like you're someone who works in a hotel and you're asleep at the desk, and it's like, for service, please mention hacking.
No. It's for service, please hack.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Like, well, nothing gives Dara a jolt quite like saying that hackers is overrated, because that tends to get his blood up there.
Hold on a second.
Table.
We're gonna have to run this show long, aren't we?
Hold on a second.
I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that if you really want to wake him up, that's how you do it.
It's just like that.
Did you notice how uppity he got as soon as I said
it? Oh my god!
I'm glad my concern is amusing.
Tell you what, we've only a few minutes left on this. Dara, rather than getting into what if, I'd say probably save that for next week. Do you want to tell us like what makes a good hacking like presence in a movie?
Wait, you don't want to get into what if, but you want to get into this?
Yeah. No, hold on.
We got 6 minutes, and
we have 6 minutes. Okay.
So,
we have 6. Okay. Well, look. Okay, right. Well, quickly then, right. I don't know. Like, it's just Mr. Robot's like the best representation of the whole thing. So if you just want to watch a good show that's like all about that kind of stuff, like Mr. Robot is just the one to watch. But even in the Matrix, and can't believe we didn't talk about the Matrix trailer. We'll talk about that next week. But even in the Matrix Reloaded, like when Trinity is hacking the power grid, like it's all realistic stuff that she's using. It's just that
we've got a few minutes. You can talk about the trailer if you want. Like,
it's a trailer.
We could watch it twice in the time we've got left.
Can we go long?
We can, we'll
can we go long?
I'm going to bed.
Okay.
I'll stick around.
We'll stick around.
We'll go. Here, then listen. We'll cut the show. We're a little before time. But we'll cut the show there, and come back with a fresh Matrix trailer.
Good. Let's do plugs.
Does anybody here have any plugs?
Very good question.
Nerd to Know Media.
Well, I will start with my fresh plug that is Nerd to Know Media. Also, if you're on if you're on the channel, check out the other shows. They're all very, very good. It's a good channel. We have a good time.
Yeah.
While you're at that, that's the theme song.
I love that. Brilliant.
While you are at that, my D&D streams are back, baby. The team of Gladius Astra are still romping across the land of Thylia in my Greek mythology themed D&D campaign. You can find them every Tuesday, roughly 7:30ish. Now on the newly rebranded The Nancy Crew Twitch channel.
That's great.
That's brilliant.
And matching YouTube domain for the VODs. We have fun. I have fun. I try to kill them. They have fun.
And you know what? I still don't have anyone to play D&D with. You're all awful people.
Correct.
Correct.
That's going to be one of those when we can actually meet in each other's houses type things. Put a pin in it.
That's fair. Yeah, other than that, go to Nerd to Know Media, check out all the shows, and thanks for listening.
See you in a sec.
Oh, this is worth it. We can work it. She says I'm not romantic. I say she's too dramatic. I tell her while we're at it, we can work it. She says I'm not romantic. I say she's
Hello and welcome to Nerd to Know Media on 92.5. Can I start again?
Butch. Caught the ropes.
1 week, I'll get that right on the first go. Phoenix 92.5 FM.
It's alright, King. There used to be a wrestler called Sin Cara, and his entrance was he'd jump. He'd try to jump over the ropes, but every time he'd miss and hit the ropes, so he had to film it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Did 20 takes, and that was the best one.
At some point, we'll also have to show you the glory that is the Shockmaster.
Oh yeah.
That's tragically funny.
Yeah. I'm glad you said you kept it to an hour, because every week I tell Stevie, I'll be back in an hour, and she goes, no, you're not, it'll be 2. And then, like, she's put 10 quid in it tonight, and I quite fancy winning that 10 quid.
Alright, but tell her the time starts from now, because I'm keeping it.
Yeah. No, as long as I'm back by 11, I get free coffee tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, don't worry. I'll keep it to an hour.
We're going to make a point of it today.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, hold on. Before we go, is Stevie on the panel? Because she has to be.
I'll ask her. Honestly, it depends on the baby's behaviour.
Baby can be on the panel too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm okay with like her chiming in.
Yeah, I'll get the Shurikon lads to put out 3 extra chairs then. We'll invite Lisa, make it 7, have 2 people who've never seen Star Wars watching 3 or 4 people rage about it.
This is quite literally going to be group therapy, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is like I kind of think we could get the title changed to be, instead of being the post-mortem, just calling it group therapy over Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, the group therapy is when we start the weekly meetings.
I think my trauma with Star Wars began on.
The bad man touched me here.
Pointing to your heart.
Darth Vader was in a hallway.
No, but seriously, you need to get Stevie in on that. Like that just needs to happen. Okay. I'm quite insistent.
I'll tell her as soon as we're off the chat then.
Alright, okay, cool. But I need someone to be like more upset than me, so I just,
You'll
just
get that in spades, I promise you that much. Do you want us to bring our purple lightsaber as well?
Yeah, go for it.
It's so funny. Stevie keeps trying to play with it, but every time we turn it on, the noise makes the Baba cry. So she's got this like great Christmas present that's being held hostage by her firstborn.
Oh well. That's like on purpose. Maybe she knows. She's like,
yeah. It's totally on purpose.
Disney Star Wars was too bad. You don't deserve to enjoy this. All right. Okay. Right. Let's back to you. Check out the Wrestling Rewind here on Phoenix 92.5 FM every Tuesday at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And of course, over on nerdtoknowmedia.com, the only wrestling podcast by wrestling fans who don't hate wrestling. We'll see you then.
Thank you for listening to a Nerd to Know Media production.
socials, YouTube. I think this is just going up on YouTube and Spotify. This is where they're going. Welcome back to Nerd to Know Media After Dark.
Yeah.
After dark.
By going into the dark, we seem to have lost Cian, but hopefully we'll find him.
We have lost Cian, and now we can say the fuck word.
Yes.
Now we can play the forbidden music.
He's a sensitive Christian boy, so you have to protect his innocent fucking ears. So.
Oh man! So we did the wrestling show last week, and Martin got more progressively drunk as he was going because he was at a wedding, so he was just slamming whiskey, and the amount of editing I had to do to remove all the swears was unbelievable. So I was like, oh well. And apparently I didn't get them all, so you're welcome, Phoenix.
Just some sneaky ones there on public radio.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Joyce.
But of course we are here now to discuss the freshly branded trailer of Matrix Resurrection. After much teasing and codifying, we finally got a full trailer, a full look at Matrix 4. Dara, thoughts?
Yes. I've been waiting for so what people may not realize is Star Wars is not my favorite franchise, right? The Matrix is. However, I forget the Matrix is, and then I remember and get super into it for a while, then it goes away again. So when this happened, I was just in bits. I was like, this is brilliant. So I don't even care if it's good. It could be terrible. Still gonna love it. In fact, if it's terrible, that's even better.
I when I heard that they were making a Matrix 4, much like kind of any property kind of being brought back as a kind of a reboot or like a late sequel, I was like, do we really need this? And obviously finding out that is it just Lana or
it's just Lana. It's
just Lana.
Because what people don't realize is like Lana was like the brains behind like the majority of it. Anyway, so I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, you know.
But anyway, finding out that like she was involved, I was like, okay, we have something that could be cool. It was seeing what is the actress's name for Trinity? What's her name?
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yeah.
Which one? Sorry,
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Carrie-Anne, like as much as like I think I might just have not Keanu fatigue, but I think I'm just so used to seeing Keanu. Or like, it's Neo, but it's Keanu.
But it's kind of like with him, it's kind of like a "what have you done for me lately" kind of thing. But you don't see Carrie all the time.
Yeah,
that's
well, with Keanu, it's like he just settled into just being John Wick, which is fine. But with the fact that he's like, oh, it's John Wick and the Matrix, and then you see Carrie-Anne Moss, and you're like, wow.
Seeing Carrie-Anne Moss as like Trinity again, I was like, oh, that's. Oh, I didn't realize I had this safe place.
That's it. That's the thing about the Matrix, right? I always forget that I love the Matrix so much until I don't, and then I'm like, I love the Matrix. You know, just like it's just so weird. It's such a unique thing, and I'm glad that the Matrix it didn't bomb because it really didn't. But I'm glad that it didn't have what happened to Star Wars, where it's still relatively pure.
Yeah,
you know,
I think because of the two sequels just didn't they didn't generate the buzz that the first Matrix movie did. That because they were very successful, but I don't think they were successful as people had expected them to be. And
they weren't they weren't the tectonic cinematic shift that the first one was.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. But I think like what people seem to forget about and like, look, there is a really good fan edit which you can find online. Obviously no links because obviously not, but you can find if you go looking. It's called Matrix Decoded, and it's Matrix 2 and 3 recut with stuff from the Animatrix, and it's wonderful. It's like the definitive way to actually watch the Matrix sequels, right? However, even that said, like what they did in the Matrix 2 and 3 is actually incredible. Like the music is out of this world good, but the camera techniques, the cinematography, and even just the special effects. When you're watching it, It's 2003, dude.
Yeah, like that's it. Like I think people kind of bemoaned the fact that like of the huge action set pieces when it came out because the first one kind of was a lot more grounded. Those are incredible looking. That highway fight scene is still one of the best action scenes I have ever witnessed.
But what people don't realize as well about the Matrix is the first one is grounded because he's not the one yet.
Yeah.
So 2 and 3, it's like he's aware it's a video game and that he's basically a god and can do
cheat coding it
and can do whatever he wants. Yeah, he's basically playing GTA with all cheats on all the time. So of course it and I think the PS2 graphics help reinforce that it's a video game, you know. But look, that's just me. I people can be like, "Oh, you're cutting a lot of slack." I'm like, yeah, but when you have that kind of realization, that's what they're trying to do. And I just think with the Wachowskis, they can be too high concept for their own good, and that happened with Jupiter Ascending. Like I like Jupiter Ascending as a parody of Brazil because I love Brazil, but or homage to Brazil because it's a parody anyway. Sorry, but as a movie, like it's way too high concept. And I think what Lana's done now is she's like, hey, I have one shot at this to really nail it. And I think she sat there and it looks like they've done it. Because here's the thing, attention to detail, right? I've read different reports where they're like, oh, they're getting rid of sequel continuity. Maybe. But if you look at the Matrix that they're in, that's the Matrix from the end of Revelations.
Yeah.
It's the new Matrix. It's not the green tinted one. It's the one that was brought in when they brought the Oracle back. So it has a lot of upside, in my opinion.
It's definitely like it's left like the trailer left me just with a lot of like questions about just what like obviously the first one, like it's in the name. How Neo alive? Big question. Hey teacher question. How Neo alive?
Well, he didn't die.
What?
He didn't die.
I have not watched those movies in a long time. I actually mean to rewatch them now.
He sacrificed himself, right? But he didn't die as such because he was still connected to the machines. So all they can do is just re-upload his consciousness. And remember, the one itself is an anomaly that keeps reproducing itself every now and then. So we don't know how far in the future this is. This could be the cycle of the one just coming back up again because that's what happens. Or it could be Neo's consciousness just being a ghost in the machine with Trinity, and he's made her in the Matrix herself. So we don't actually know what it is because I've heard different things. One, it is that, or it's just a new cycle of the one. But he's not actually dead because he did, and if he did die, they were able to grab his consciousness pretty much from the source because that's where he's at. He's at the source of the Matrix.
Yeah, like it's definitely just like it's definitely piqued my interest. I can't
sure.
like I can say that much. Like it piqued my interest in a way I didn't fully expect it to.
Oh, I don't think anyone expected it to hit as big as it did. And again, I think it's because everyone forgets that they love the Matrix. It's the biggest franchise that everybody forgets they love until they don't. It's so weird. It's just like it's the only franchise that it happens in. Maybe Lord of the Rings too, but Lord of the Rings is so tectonic that you're like, no, there's no way that you forget you like Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean?
Look, yeah, but like I think but actually very similarly to the Lord of the Rings thing, or with to the Matrix trailer, when they dropped that teaser image for the new Lord of the Rings series, at least my circle of interest had an absolute freak out, being like, yo, look at those trees in that picture. I kind of got that.
Yeah. And look, there's a lot to be said about nostalgia. You know, nostalgia is very powerful. And this kind of stuff from 2003 to 2005, this is like core teenage memories being unlocked, or even, childhood memories if you're a little bit younger than me. I was 12, 13 when the Matrix when the Reloaded came out. Second year. So what was that? 14? Yeah. So I remember that really well. And the same with Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was out 2001, so I was starting secondary school.
2003.
Yeah, it's those kind of things where, like, you remember them, but because they kind of came and went and then went away for a very long time. I guess this is probably what a lot of folks had with Star Wars for a while, where when Star Wars came out with them at those pivotal moments in life, they had to wait 25 years for it. And I guess it makes sense now that we're living through what we were always puzzled at by people with you know, when this prequels came out. You know, now we're living through that, and I think that's really weird and crazy.
Yeah, I think probably the fundamental difference though is I don't think there's like a near religious following for the Matrix as there was for Star Wars when the
well that was like and like Star Wars never really dipped, even though Jedi is pretty poor in lots of ways. It never really dipped until the prequels came out. With the Matrix, we already saw the dip, so it's like everyone still has love for the first one and appreciates 2. Everyone hates 3, which I think was founded, but yeah, it's a weird one, man. It really is. It's one of those strange, but I'm excited to see it. Neil Patrick Harris, I think is going to be really cool in it, like playing the agent therapist.
Yeah.
I love the way they're kind of gone about it, where it is all kind of like flashpoints. I'm gonna go see it as soon as I can, but it's definitely one that I'm just so pumped for.
Absolutely, like, I think it's one of the few trailers where like I think it's told you in just enough to make you go, I need to see this film just to satisfy curiosities.
Absolutely, it did the job of a trailer.
Yeah, which is so rare these days. You know,
yeah.
I mean, it's very like the amount of times that you see trailers just straight up give away the keys to the castle, and you're like, what? Why did you tell me all these things? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like, I mean, I would still like. I mean, we were talking about this before. I was talking about this before with people. Like, I'm not. I'm very cautiously optimistic for it. I really like the trailer. I'm intrigued by it, but I can't let myself get excited about it because my feeling is like the trailer looks great, but I've never seen a bad looking Matrix trailer. You know,
Revelations kind of told you exactly what was coming.
Yeah,
the trailer for Revelations wasn't very good,
but the trailer for Revelations made me excited to see it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So like, because again, like it kind of told you what was coming, but what I was telling you was this is the final part of the story, and I was excited to see the final part of the story.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I feel like it did exactly what it needed to do. Whereas this isn't saying this is the final story. This is kind of saying we're going back.
Yeah,
and that's very intriguing.
It's funny, it was 20-year anniversary of the Matrix comics. I don't know if you guys have read the Matrix comics.
No.
But they actually released them there over in 2020. I actually bought it. The Matrix comics are wonderful. And there is a part with, you know, the kid from Kid Story from the Animatrix. Yeah. He has one in it, and he's actually training with Neo and Trinity. And he's like, Neo and Trinity aren't in the Matrix, they're dead. And it's all about him trying to cope with that. So it's just like interesting. You know, it's like there's just certain things in the lore of the Matrix where I'm like, how are you going to tie? Because it's not like the EU where it's been wiped from canon. The Matrix accoutrements are all part of the Matrix.
Oh, you know, I've heard that they are bringing, like, I've heard reports that they're bringing in stuff from the now defunct Matrix Online
because that was the sequel. That's why Morpheus isn't in. Well, old Morpheus isn't in the movie because he can't be. You know, he dies in Matrix Online. So it's just like, okay,
that's mad.
You know, but like that was the whole point of Matrix Online. It was to end. It was the tie of the Matrix and to be. I think again, how ahead of their time were the Wachowskis to be like, we're going to have a live service game in 2005.
Yeah. We want to do Second Life, but with the Matrix.
With the Matrix, yeah. And I just think that's incredible. So I don't know, guys. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I don't even think I need to be cautious. I know it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be the best movie ever, but it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be a good Matrix movie, and then that's it. And to be honest with you, I think Lana's smart enough to know if I mess this up, my career's over. So I don't think she's going to mess it up.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like it's definitely piqued enough interest that I think it's safe to say we're all gonna go see it.
Sir.
Oh yeah. I'm probably gonna go see it about 4 times.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think that about wraps us up for everything this week. Of course, if you were following the show earlier, follow. Obviously, check out the plugs. My plug. Nobody else plugged. I plugged. Check out my plugs. But also, of course, as I mentioned earlier, check out the rest of the channel. Check out the other shows. Of course, Straight Outta Canto and Your Disclosure. Also still great. Good job for the gals. And we'll check you back here next week for another Nerd Basis.
This is worth it. We can work it. She says I'm not romantic. I say she's too dramatic. I tell her while we're at it, we can work it. She says I'm not romantic. I say she's too dramatic.
Thank you for listening to a Nerd to Know Media production.